Okay, thanks very much for the plug, Les. That's most appreciated. I'm just going to wrap up here for a few minutes. Lunch is coming. Martin started off by saying that he'd spent yesterday having his day from hell, which is the sort of training course preparing people for what happens if they get prosecuted or in the event of some terrible incident happening. I have been there. So I can assure you that what you experienced yesterday, you don't want to experience in reality. As Les said, 5 years ago I was appointed Managing Director of Aker Offshore Partner on the 1st of January 2007. On the 6th of January, 5 days later, we killed somebody, Matthew Gray, in a lifting incident. And that's something, Les was involved in that incident as well, and it's something that lives with us every day. And it probably will do for the rest of our lives. So not long after that, I did join Step Change because I wanted to do my bit, play my part in trying to make the UKCS the safest place to work in the oil and gas industry. And that's led me over the past 5 years to become contractor co-chair of the Competence Group. So before I start on competence, I think a word in thanking the human factors guys for a great start to the morning. That was fantastic and really instructional. Had a lot of common areas with what then we've followed up with on the competence side. And I think we had 3 really strong presentations, which I'm sure you'll agree. Nodding heads. In terms of the framework, there's a huge demand out there. You've got big companies, big operators insourcing more and more positions, like the Talisman, Sinopec, Martin's, Maersk Oil have taken a lot of positions in-house, and they need a framework to manage the competence of those new positions they've taken in-house. Catherine mentioned a lot of new operators. You've got the likes of Enquest, Dana, Endeavour, all taking over duty holdership. They all need a framework within to manage the competence of their workforce. Then in the supply chain, contractors, SMEs, coming under increasing pressure, and quite rightly so, to be able to demonstrate the competence of their workforce. And it's not just a case of taking out the same dusty old portfolios every time you're audited. It's got to be live, it's got to be current. And so where do companies go to get the framework to help them put that together? And it'd be great if everybody used a similar way of doing things. So that's why we're developing the framework that Les outlined today, and I think there is a real demand for that. In terms of MIST, hopefully we've exploded some real myths around that today. The statistics are pretty overwhelming, and I think they did resuscitate us all. Amazing. 1 in 3 candidates needed 5 attempts to get through MIST last year. So, if anybody's any doubt, it's clear that MIST is challenging our workforce and it's educating our workforce as well. There's room for improvement. We're reviewing the standard, as we've said already. And probably in the standard itself, the experience is that it's pretty robust. It needs tweaked, it needs updated. There's a lot happened in the last 4 years, but it's essentially robust. And probably as Emily was kind of hinting at there, the biggest area for improvement is the delivery mechanisms, the training, the way we deliver that training to the workforce, so it's not death by PowerPoint, so it's stimulating, so it engages people when they're doing it. So that will be the focus going forward. MJI, Mechanical Joint Integrity, is a great success story. The take-up figures there are quite extraordinary, and it shows what you can do if you listen to industry and understand the demand and create a product that fills that demand. We set ourselves a target of reducing hydrocarbon releases by 50% over 3 years. I think we just about got there. We've set ourselves another target to do that again over the coming period, and it's initiatives like MGI that have helped us get there. It's probably also worth mentioning the control of work for performing authority training, or COWPAT as it's lovingly known. We've done 500 people through that course already this year as well. That's addressing another key part of the hydrocarbon release challenge. Also, Catherine mentioned the advanced safety rep training, getting real take-up from that. We ran the pilot earlier this year, And now as that's come to market, D&V are running that for us, they're seeing a huge take-up in that as well. And again, safety reps, so important, as Catherine outlined, getting the right training to be able to fulfill their role in installations. So I think this isn't shelfware, this is stuff that's making a difference, and we will keep it fresh and keep it current. So next steps. I think my backdrop was something about joined up thinking, which hasn't appeared. But anyway, our next steps will all be around joined up thinking. We see ourselves, there we go, sitting at the centre and trying to bring together all these well-meaning groups, doing great work out there, giving them a platform, giving them a voice in the industry. And Step Change is just uniquely placed to do that. So what we want to do is listen to the demand from our members. We've got representation from all the major companies in the leadership team, so we hear it firsthand. We can also understand what the priorities of the industry are. And more, we can access great data. We've seen the stats from Harry today. You know, that's real meaningful data that we can use. We've also got 4,500 workforce engagement surveys. There's some real messages coming through in the initial analysis of that about gaps in safety leadership, and that'll direct our focus in how we move into the safety leadership area and provide products that will hopefully fill those gaps. We've got access to, I mean, just in this room, amazing access to technical subject experts who we can bring together in work groups, as Martin said, doing it out of their own time, in their own time, because they have real drive and interest in this subject. So we're uniquely placed to bring these technical subject experts together into groups. And in that way, we can then produce guidance and standards that are of real value and for the industry. And then work with training providers, work with the training boards to make sure that the training and the training providers deliver products that really make this interesting and valuable for the industry. And then every 3-4 years, we've got to keep it fresh. There's no point in it sitting on the shelf. Let's keep it updated, as Les says. Let's keep everything current. So that's what we'll be about over the coming couple of years. That's our program, following through on a number of these products, and then looking at other areas such as isolations, using the MGI model to take that to market. So, joined up thinking, trying to eliminate some of the overlaps, fill some of the gaps, and towards a common goal. And it's also about playing your part, as it says there. We've got a lot of people here today that have demonstrated that they're playing their part. And if anybody else has been inspired by what they've heard this morning to want to play your part in Step Change, then come and have a word afterwards with myself or any of the guys that have been up today. So I think we're going to have some Q&A now. Les, back to you. Thank you.